Alrighty. I literally don't even know how to white balance on this camera. It's my dad's. So if some weird psychedelic changes start happening, or I'm out of focus, or the color looks terrible, there's really nothing I can do at this point. Hi! Welcome. My name is Lou. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that do, hi. I'm coming at you, not so live, from my parents' attic. This is my childhood room. I have actually been living here for the past few years because I don't have any money. There's a lot of memories in these narrow, sloping walls. But this whole experience, you know, being locked up, I have to say it hasn't been too strange for me because I kind of like being a reclusive hermit quite a lot. So sometimes I do lock myself away, especially when I'm trying to be creative. I've actually been rewriting a script that I started when I was about 16, and all of this feels very familiar to me because when I was a child, or like the late years of my childhood going into my teen years, I spent days, hours, I spent like the whole summer holidays in this room, in this area, Creative Corner, as it is known. I don't write here anymore because this is just, it's too cramped and it's not pleasant. But yeah, I used to write stories here. Always have. I've reached a point in my life where some of the stories and concepts that I created when I was younger, I still have, because novelty alone, they prove interesting. They're fun to look at because they're not very good, and I'm very aware of how not good they are. And I have no intention of doing anything with them. I'm thinking I might try and like incorporate some of the characters into actual stories and films that I want to make because I want them to live on, but there's also some that can die a death for sure. So today I'm going to crack open some of my old stories and scripts. Snoopy Felder? It's the Snoopy Felder. If you hear the rain, by the way, this is the shit I have to deal with. So first and foremost, this is one of my earliest stories that I wrote. More Than a Feeling. Yes, it is named after the song. Yes, I heard the song and thought that would be a great opening number to a film. Not a musical, just like the backtrack to a lady walking down the road. It's written in Comic Sans and the title is in word art. Need I say more? So let's just first take a look at some of these characters. Here, can you see them? Oh, hang on. This is, I'm holding it at an angle because this light is obnoxious, but yeah, so we've got some characters. All of these characters are either named after people I know, people who I liked from afar and didn't know at all, creepy, or are characters I made on The Sims. Most of them are characters I decided to make on The Sims. The general story, as far as I can remember, is it's about a waitress who works in an office building, and her friends all work in the same office building, and her boyfriend cheats on her with one of her other friends, and then her dad, who's a professional mini golfer, has a heart attack, and then I literally don't know what happens after that, but somehow she ends up back together with her boyfriend, obviously, because they're meant to be together. So this is the opening. And can I just say, I never read books. Yeah, I didn't read. I took no pleasure in reading. I studied English Lit for A-levels and somehow managed to pass without finishing one book. Films, on the other hand, obsession. Loved films. My mum worked in a video shop, so I was all about absorbing the content. Video shops for Netflix before Netflix was a thing. The world was my oyster, and I watched a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff, but I was very into like the rom-com at that time. Frankie is walking down a slightly busy road. The road is close to her apartment and the bar, where Frankie works part-time as a waitress. This, oh my god, this is to the music Real Dead Ringer for Love by Meatloaf. It zooms in on Frankie. What zooms in on Frankie? I don't know. Real Dead Ringer for Love, dude. Yeah, not even More Than a Feeling. Voice in background. This isn't even a voiceover. This isn't narration. This is just voice in background. Who knows whose voice? This is Frankie. She has a strange life. Her mom, spelt mom, because we're American now, called Janet, ran off with a toy boy called Derek. Her dad is a professional crazy golf player called Mel. He has always looked after his little baby. When she left home, she moved in with a crazy man called Agador and his sexy ladies. This is a reference to the birdcage. If you don't know that, even then, I don't get it. Boy, did he know how to party. Now she lives with a more sensible group in an apartment. There's Malcolm, Sarah, and Clarissa.
Everyone's got abs.
She's just about to meet them for lunch in Pat's Joint, the local bar. Pat's Joint. My mum's called Pat. There's one line, and I don't even want to read it out loud, but it's one that really sticks in my brain because I hate it so much now. And I thought I was being so clever with the wordplay at the time. But there's a bit where Frankie, she's left the bathroom and she's seen her boyfriend making out with his friend, Sarah. And rather than confront them then and there and like throw a drink in his face or like anything like that, she just goes home. Okay, here we go. This is the bit. Okay. Frankie has her beer and then goes home. Oh, so she finishes her drink. Jesus. Right, okay. Malcolm comes in to the home. We're already at home. No establishing, just, hey Frankie, have fun? Yeah, what else did you have to drink apart from Sarah's saliva? I hate that line. Because even when you like really sloppy make out with someone, drinking their saliva, that's just intense, dude. Like that just sounds rough and really wet. What are you talking about? Oh, you still don't know? No. I saw you kissing Sarah at the bar. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Frankie. He grabs her hand and she pulls away. You always do this. But Frankie, it was just one kiss. It was tonsil hockey. Terrible. Tonsil hockey. Saliva. I obviously wrote this before I'd ever kissed a human being. I liked to live through my characters. They were all kissing each other and doing each other, and I was in my room drawing pictures. So yeah, Frankie was a character that I originally wrote. I think there was a girl at school called Frankie a few years above us. And I just at the time thought she was really cool. So I was like, I'm going to name a character Frankie. And she's going to be everything that I want to be. And then I made her on The Sims. And then you can pretend you are that person and live through them. Which I did. Often. I was 13 by the looks of it. Yeah, 2004. 13 years old when I stopped, I hope, stopped drawing Frankie and co. It's really funny looking at these actually because Frankie, like, she wears boots and hoop earrings and shit like that, and it was all stuff that I really wanted to do when I was older. And now I do. I'm wearing hoop earrings and I wear Doc Martens. I've become my own creation. I actually have. One of my characters had pink hair and I was like, oh god, what is my life? Okay, so the next story we have, I don't think I ever came up with a formal title for this one, but it was known as By the Bay. I bet you can't guess where it was set. It was set by a body of water. And these are the characters. Can you see them? They look terrifying. Ellie and Jake. I actually drew that picture on the back of a menu at like some Hard Rock or Perkins or some American establishment when I was on holiday with my family. And I remember being like, these two kids are awesome. I want to make a story about them. And this is, let's show you. This is their make-believe world. This is them together, jumping off into the water. That's the rope that connected their rooms because they creep into each other's rooms and have sleepovers. And I soon found out that they did that in, I think, Dawson's Creek. I didn't watch Dawson's Creek, but I feel like if I did watch Dawson's Creek, it could have saved me a lot of time writing this because I feel like they kind of did it and probably did it better. Also, Dawson's Creek, that's a good name. You know, it's a name and the location. It's not just by the bay. Like, what's by the bay? Sand. I actually don't know what happened in this story. Again, I think I just came up with characters I wanted to draw. I think I just really wanted to draw people surfing and people with like beachy looks and beachy hair. I was really into that kind of beach vibe. I think everyone was into that beach I keep saying beach. And I remember at the time, Cheryl Crow, the Warrior King, Cheryl Crow, fuck me, Cheryl Crow, released that song, Soak Up the Sun. Track number 2. And the video was all beachy, and she was beachy, and I was really into that. Aerosmith had a song called Girls of Summer. Track number 13. And again, it was really beachy. Just girls in bikinis. And guys being dudes. This is like, what was the film about? That. Again, the picture did it better than my story ever did, so. The sun is up and 2 mischievous children run out into the pier and jump in the water. They both surface and she splashes some water in his face. He splashes some back and they both swim towards a tall grey rock. I think this is literally the whole film is just a film of people frolicking. Teenagers having fun outside, which is exactly what I wasn't doing. Thinking about it, I think a lot of the idea from Ellie and Jake came from that film Blue Crush, but I'd never watched it. When I was probably early teens, I'm not too sure. I want to say early. I hope it's not late. Probably is late. I wrote a film called Vampires. There's also a song by a band called Fastball called Vampires, and I like that song. So this is that overall plot outline. I've just written it on paper. I haven't read this, so let's see what this says. Olden days. Young woman finds sanctuary in big old house. An older man owns this house. The woman stays with him for a while. She falls in love with him. So far it's a bit of Beauty and the Beast. She finds out that he's a vampire. She runs away, meets another man. They are very close. When she's asleep, the vampire visits him. She falls back under his spell. She goes back to his big home, meets female vampires, his ex-wives. They all tell her how good it is to be a vampire. She falls even deeper in love with him. The human travels to find her. People tell him about the bad mansion. He ignores them and goes there. The woman no longer loves him. The vampire turns the woman into a vampire. A new woman arrives. The male vampire, and this is genuinely in these, likes her. He makes this woman love him. Female vampire gets jealous. She thought he loved her. She goes back to the other guy. He forgives her. The vampire eventually finds her. The vampire kills the guy. The woman lives with the vampire. Wow. Sounds just like my love life. Let's tuck that one back in. Oh my gosh. The Will Seekers? What the fuck is the Will Seekers? I don't remember this. Tina, Lawrence, and Laura all knew each other from school. They become assassins who know all the tricks of everything. They are caught by the police and they are put away. Lawrence and Laura are in one cell. Tina's on the floor below them. They break out, kill a few cops, and help Tina out. And kill a few more cops. They are finishing a job a man who knows them sent them to kill a rich old man. I'm gonna stop reading because this could be gold. Oh my gosh, wow. Then we've got the 4 elements here. That's fire, that's water. The other 2 aren't very good, so I'm not gonna show you them. Just thought it would be cool to have 4 female superheroes who do stuff to do with the elements. Here's one about an angel who falls down from heaven. I think I actually wrote a story once where a woman turns into a dog. And it's like a rom-com. Like a Shaggy Dog story, but like a romantic Shaggy Dog story. Like an actual Shaggy Dog story. No. So yes, Maria, God, it all feels a bit blasphemous, doesn't it? So Maria was an angel that fell down from heaven, and that I literally got the character inspiration because there was an editorial that was in some magazine, and I thought the woman was wearing some awesome things, and I was like, I want to write a story for that woman, that unnamed model, wherever she is. The concept is very... Shit. Here's the logline. Greg thought his life was great until he lost his girlfriend. It's up to Maria, a rebellious Angel who was kicked out of heaven, to help him find happiness, in order for her to return to being a fully fledged angel. So I can only spell angel half the time. It's a bit like in South Park, isn't it? Rob Schneider is a carrot. I'm not proud of that one. Here's a band, a fictional band. Can you see this? Okay, here's a band. There they are. Lovely. They're called Six Pack. Here they are individually. Notice all the, yeah. Okay. All very white people. I don't know what they did. They were in a band. Maybe they for crime. Maybe they robbed a bank. Maybe they did both. Who knows? Okay, so here's something I wrote and was so proud of I took into school. I've actually got a thing here. This is a piece of work created completely by Louisa just out of her own interest. It was not set as homework, but she brought it to show me. It's unfinished though. She's constantly adding to it. Constantly and never. It's called The Grandfather Clock. And I think I'd just seen Tom's Midnight Garden, and it's basically like the Secret Garden meets Tom's Midnight Garden meets Narnia meets like every child story written ever. So here we go. I believe in many things, but when my granddad bought my mum a big clock, my life changed. Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. My full name is Rachel Patricia Harfield. It all happened on my mum's birthday, the 25th of April. Granddad is getting older and visits very rarely, so this came as a big surprise. To hear his laugh is like a wave on the shore. To see him smile is like a sun in the sky rising just for the sake of being there. I gave my mum her present. It was a big poster of George Clooney, and she gave me a hug with a grin, when suddenly the doorbell rang. Can I just say this is really creepy because that's my mum. This is basically me talking about my mum, and I did get her a George Clooney poster for one of her birthdays.
And here's the poster.
Did this really happen? I don't have a granddad, so no. I'll get it, shouted Dad, undoing the lock. I then heard a warm, comforting voice saying, "Where's my Rachel?" "Granddad," I shouted back, running down the hallway to hug him. He picked me up and swung me round. Tears almost filled my eyes with joy when Granddad gave me a hug and a kiss. His moustache was a bit tickly, but I didn't mind. I'm used to it. He shoved my mum out the door. Get out of here. He shoved my mum out the door, and right in front of us was a big grandfather clock. It must have cost him a bomb. He whispered in my mum's ear, "Happy birthday." He also added a soft chuckle on the end. He always laughs at the end of his sentences. I'm not going to read the rest, because it's too damn good, and I don't want to spoil you. I just read the sentence, I needed a drink. Water or orange juice? Ooh, decisions. Spoilt for choice there. Classic H2O. Or OJ. Don't go too crazy. Again, I'm actually proud of that one. Considering I never read a book. I knew what I was doing. That's Rachel. That's Mum and Dad. That's Granddad. We've got Teresa, who, of course, looks like a gypsy girl. The little toad goblin. Cheeky little prick. Cheeky little pixie. Shit. Jasper the horse. God, I bet you really want to hear the rest of this. I don't know what the rest of it is. Assumpta. I think I got that name from Sharp, the TV show. The Widow of the Woods. She's fucking creepy. She looks like that one from Legend. If you've seen Legend, that's scary and a weird film. The Watcher as well. He's pretty dope. He's like, "Don't fuck with me in my garden." His thighs are literally mine. Okay, here's a comedy I wrote. This is a little caveman and the lady that he stays with, probably in New York, because let's face it, that's where all of these films take place. Movie star, casino lady, cop. Is that a nurse? Yeah, so basically, they all look like strippers. I don't know how they meet him or interact with him, but I think it was kind of like an Austin Powers deal where he was like this unattractive hairy man who somehow managed to woo or charm all these ladies. There's one story that, again, I think I was just writing random things for random characters, but this is legitimately the opening line. My new story starts in a club. Don't know what sort of club, but it plays music. Cool. Great. I know exactly the one. So that's just some of the preliminaries. They're not the best. The fact is I had ideas. I'd stolen most of them, but I was being creative. And I really want to assure you that my writing has improved and my character development has also improved. If you want proof of that, you can check out Penny and Circle Triangle, my 2 short films, on Vimeo now. The links are below, because I've got that power. So yeah, please check them out if you want to or if you haven't already. Thank you for your time.